What's up? How y'all doing today? Came back on here today because I want to give y'all some knowledge. I want to give you knowledge. I want to give you some serious knowledge. For those that are out there new to this whole consciousness game and all this stuff, not game, but new to being conscious and awakened, first thing you're going to do when you experience that energy and that feeling of something moving within you, first thing you're going to do, right, is, oh my God, what is this? What is this? Let me go and let me look up what's going on here. And you look up this, and then you go somewhere else, and then you find something that's linked to that, and you discover something new. So you, if you're like me, you become damn near obsessed with meditation practices. And of course, it's making you feel better. You maybe were a person that was under a lot of stress, or just feeling some type of anguish or some type of suffering going on in your life, and you look to meditation and you realize that it was just being tremendously beneficial to you. So, of course, that aspect of it is awesome. But what a lot of people don't get into discussion about, because they probably don't even know it themselves, is that consciousness can be, and maybe not a lack of, maybe it's a lack of better words, but consciousness can be a monster. It could be a small monster, and it can grow into be even bigger monster. Let me tell you why. I'm pretty sure a lot of people become deterred from practices when you hear about Kundalini awakening, and some of the more tantric practices, even yoga practices, tend to be a little bit more angelic. People still are deter away from doing it because just of some stories that they heard of. Just some people just go crazy because you're messing with your mind. And this is what's the thing about being conscious. Consciousness is a very powerful thing. The universe is very real, trust me. The universe is out there, and when you come to a level of consciousness and you're aware of the universe, you also become aware of how energy affects things, how everything is basically energy. You'll even start seeing energy. So basically, the universe is energy. And when you're at the level where you're in your subconscious mind, your thoughts become very powerful. And I'm not sure if a lot of people know that you can manifest in your conscious state very, very quickly. I think people automatically, when they hear about meditation and some of the benefits of meditation, they hear the word manifestation, and it's like, boop, manifestation. This is this, and that's only where that thought stays. But we're talking about subconsciousness, and we're talking about manifestation, we're talking about energy. So what you're saying is that your ability to manifest becomes very powerful. Even the thoughts about meditation itself, okay? Listen to me now. For instance, you learn something new about chakra systems, and you learned that it gives you a certain type of sensation. So that's something that you put in your mind. But mind you now, you're on a subconscious level now, right? You're on a subconscious level. So when you put these in your mind, these are also in your subconscious. You know what's going to happen? It's going to manifest. That's how powerful subconsciousness is. And that's why they say, oh, you really have the ability to manifest. You have the same amount of ability to manifest you do when you're on a subconscious level as you do when you're on a just a non-conscious level. So it's a love subconscious, conscious, but when you're not awake, basically. Awake meaning that you've elevated to all the sensations or all the attributes of your mindset. You have you're up here. We as a whole, as a human nature, we're just always up here all the time. So everything is basically controlled by our brain. And when you start meditating, you dig deeper into yourself. So you start to become at subconscious, and then you even get into your unconscious levels. Yes. Okay. So, and when you get down there, shit's getting real down there. That's when you really have to be like completely literally what you don't even say is going to affect you. Get it? Because it's unconscious. So you don't even speak these things. You know what I'm saying? So you're on a whole nother level when you're there. So try to stay away from that area. I had to learn the hard way. But if I didn't become mindful, remember, this is what it's called, being mindful of that, I would have kept drawing myself into circles and probably would have just ended up driving myself crazy. But I was, God blessed me and was like, Harry, let's bring it back. Let's bring it back. So, but literally, things that were I was reading, or things that I was just constantly reading up material on, these things started to manifest in my period of meditation. Of course, it becomes even more profound to you because that's what you're doing. So it's like, oh, boom, boom, there it is. You're meditating, you're manifesting. It's like really easy. It's really easy for that energy to do that. This is what's going on. You're meditating right now. I can do this. You're now conscious of this, something that you were not conscious of before. So it's very quickly. It's like, oh, you can manifest very quickly. But anything that you put your mind to and you focus on that very clearly and very precisely, you can manifest it. You don't have to meditate to be powerful at manifesting. And that's where some people get the wrong idea about, oh, well, if I, no, if anything, you're going to be more focused on something, and that's what's going to cause it to manifest, because it's the same. Just because you're doing the act of meditation itself does not make a particular event occur more. Practicing mindfulness just makes you be able to be more in tune with whatever you're trying to accomplish because you're mindful. So other things that were in your regular state, when you just, your regular human mind, and you're not being mindful, all those other things would get away from your focus on whatever you're working on, because where thoughts go, energy flows. So if you're consistently thinking about all other things and you still want that thing to occur, of course it's going to be not as likely to manifest as quickly because you got other things going on. But when you put all your energy into something, you can imagine that it's manifesting very quickly. So please remember that, because it will become a monster, and if you don't catch it, you can find yourself getting out of control. And as for me, I'm pretty deep in there, but I'm trying to gradually pull myself out. If you find yourself in that particular situation, one thing that I'm trying to do right now is definitely, first of all, just stop reading up about meditation. Just let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Because you come into a point where if you don't, then it's going to just continue to get worse, and the monster is going to get big. The monster for me is pretty big, so I'm trying to overcome that right now. But I'm trying to focus on other things to get myself back up from being so much inside my feeling of myself. I'm doing something, this is weird, but I just have a song. But what I did was, like, I'm at work, and I'm just periodically just smelling it. I'm becoming more aware of other what they call sensory motors besides just their feeling, because what really affects you is that when you think that this is a symptom is something that you can feel. Mostly those are the ones that you bothered. I could have very well said meditation made you start smelling. See, I don't even want to say it, but I know that this is just something that's not anything to do with sanitation. Meditation, I have sanitation today at work. So I'm smelling this sock. It has particular flavors on it. Actually, I have 3 different socks with 3 different perfumes on it. But I'll change it throughout today, and I'm just smelling it. And I'm trying to actually put my mind back into a type of system to where it was before, to where I'm actually thinking ahead and putting my mind on more things in order to kind of pull myself back up to the surface. Because I even drew an image, that I look at periodically to remind myself that, I'm down here, and I just imagine myself just swimming up back up to the surface from being down. and just climbing back up. And it's helping me, a little bit. And, of course, we run into situations like this when you're dealing with holistic type of practices, and when we run into trouble for these types of things, the Western world isn't as keen to it. Some, but first of all, they're going to be costing you an arm and a leg, and they're going to be very hard to find. And who knows if they're even going to help you. But this is just my method. By all means, I'm not a professional holistic practitioner of any sort, but I do have some knowledge of how the mind works, and I was able to just, from learning about meditation, how the mind works, thank God that I was able to kind of get an idea of why we end up putting ourselves in that conscious state in the first place, because we just slow the mind down, first of all, right? We slow the mind down and we're able to concentrate on one thing, and that's where our energy goes, okay? So when you're stuck in this type of pickle, put your mind on several things, okay? And that monster that you have stuck in on those particular symptoms and what you're going through, it becomes less and less. So hopefully this video was helpful to someone that's going through things, even if you're not at the level that I am, when this monster's pretty big right now. Think about what you're going on right now, and just maybe approach it once again with like a childlike mentality, where you're not trying to be a professor and taking on different ancient practices. Don't even go down that road. Just keep it very childlike. Just know that there are only these particular chakras, and that's it, and just let it roll. I'm pretty sure it's other stuff that is involved, and very well versed practitioners that have been studying this for years. They are the ones who are very trained in this type of phenomenon, because the universe is not at all what it appears to be. It is something that is so grand on a scale, and as a person that's coming in with no amount of experience at all, you're just barely scraping the surface, and you don't really understand it. So I would just stick to anybody, actually, unless you're just a person that just does that for a living, like a Buddhist or something. I wouldn't even venture off into other practices at all. I would just stay within the realm of that juvenile type approach to meditation. That is my advice, and I'm telling you, it is some good advice. So listen to me when I say. All right, y'all have a beautiful day, and y'all just pray for me, because right now I'm swimming back up to reality. All right, luckily I'm a strong woman, so we're gonna make it work.